Hello and welcome to Enchanted Babes, the show with D&D under the sea. I am NerdKicks, your DM, and I'm joined as always by my players, Ashta, Alex, and Sun. How are we doing tonight?
Good.
Today, we're at a
Woohoo!
different time because Ashta is on the other half of the world, and so we've hit daylight savings. And about 5 minutes ago, we realized we're about to hit daylight savings. So stay tuned for what time we're going to be at from now on. We'll figure that out.
Scheduling, the bane of
um,
every D&D group.
it's hard enough, like when you're on the same hemisphere, but trying to coordinate two hemispheres is proving a little trickier than I expected. In any case, welcome, and maybe we should jump right into that recap.
So as Leo settles down for the night, they pull off the skull mask that's on top of their head and snuggle down and talk very quietly and say, "Oh, well, Mum, that's been a very intense few days. First, we escaped from the Trident Crossroads. It was a bit hairy for a while. They wanted to capture Elomi and take them back somewhere they didn't want to go. So we busted them out of their room, and there was a bit of a scuffle with the guards. It was not looking good for a while. Thauma managed to get away and hide. Because they're nice and sneaky like that. But eventually, Elomi did this really cool thing where they managed to calm everyone down using just their words, which was pretty awesome, if you ask me. So we managed to get out of there quick, smart. I went and got Gideon back because, I thought, well, Gideon's rider was actually dead. Then Gideon technically didn't really have an owner, so we liberated Gideon, and we managed to find Thauma and booked it out of the Trident Crossroads. We were pursued for a little bit, but thankfully we were too fast for him, and managed to slip into the forest, and the forest was very friendly and very helpful, and we managed to get away. And we travelled for a few days, pretty uneventful, given the Lathma Forest's penchant for throwing out monsters and whatnot. But it was pretty quiet until we came across these folks who were having some sort of camp. They seemed pretty friendly though. They seemed to really like Thauma for some reason. I think Thauma might be famous for something. Don't know what yet. Anyway, yeah, big few days, Mum. We're about to head into Genbohr. I don't really know what to make of that because I've never actually been to the big city, but I guess we'll see what happens. Alright, night night. I then give her a kiss and put her back onto my head and then snuggle back into my sleeping position.
And welcome back. So as we're sitting around the campfire, not eating octopus, one of the deep Murs has just engaged in conversation with Thauma, and said, "You were part of it, weren't you?" And I believe Thauma confirmed yes. And then they said, "We'll stay as
Yes.
long as you
Yes.
like. We're no friends of the pod here."
Um, I'd like to ask that same Dietmar if they're from Bora too.
Oh, not to Bora. I'm from down in the depths. But when you're coming up out of there, you travel through to Bora. So I've been there.
There's a lot of pass through there, a lot of uh, similar people in that area. But I'm glad to know we're amongst friends, or at least people with a common not friend.
Not friends, a pretty nice way of putting it.
Yeah.
How did you get mixed up with the pod anyway?
Uh,
You don't have to
wasn't exactly a
answer.
choice. It wasn't exactly a choice that I made. So
I understand.
we'll just leave it with that.
Did you kill any of them?
I'd rather not go down that route.
Understandable. Anyway, I see that you guys maybe don't like octopus, and that's also understandable. I think we have some fish around here. Would you like that instead?
I'm all good with the seaweed.
Greatly
Thanks.
appreciate.
All right, and they go and she goes and darts off and brings back some fish and starts cooking it for you. The other two are also sitting and eating, and the one who initially interacted with you, you see kind of here and there, they seem to be kind of keeping watch around their camp. Is there anything that you would like to do or discuss?
So their camp looks pretty permanent, right?
Yeah, relatively. Like, it could be packed up pretty quickly, but not like just overnight camp.
I'll look at Gaster / Thauma and ask, do you want to stay here for the night, or are you good to press on to Genbohr?
I think sleeping might be the best route.
Okay.
For the night, maybe a little bit longer to plan what we're gonna do when we get there. Because right now, no idea. I don't think we're gonna make it very far inside between the two of us.
The youngish.
No,
No, go ahead.
No.
Oh, I was just gonna say she finishes cooking and starts bringing fish over to Sun, and she will offer some to Elomi because I don't know if you responded.
Oh, Elomi didn't have a verbal response, but shows more interest because, you know, cardinal fish are carnivorous.
All right, so yeah, she brings you some cooked fish, and it's honestly really good.
Oh, shell yeah. Can you show me how you cook this?
I mean, I guess it's all in the spices, I tell you.
That's right.
And you see
I've never tasted anything like this before. It's amazing.
She's got little pouches of spices that she wasn't gathering it nearby. These are not all of them that you recognize. They're, ones that you haven't necessarily tasted before.
That's so cool.
Yeah. Thauma, you probably are a little bit more familiar with the taste, but it's really, really well done.
I haven't had anything that tasted like this in quite a while. It's nice.
Some of my favorite flavors. Are you
I'll say the food wasn't horrible.
Are you doing okay? You look really tired. I mean, I know you're on the run, but
I am always. Yeah, sometimes when I'm doing too much, I get really tired and it messes with the whole being a functioning being. So I'm just a little on the more tired side than most is. But
well,
I'm all right. I can.
Have you tried
Sleeping should
taking
take
a
care
nap?
of it. Usually that works.
I just don't get it. Like, I always,
I'll be
I
by
wake up
morning.
and I feel all awake. So maybe you just need to sleep.
I sleep. Some days it works, some days it doesn't.
Oh, okay. Leo, I feel like you were going to say something a while ago, and I just remembered.
That ship has long sailed. That
Okay.
thought has disappeared into whatever strange ether it emerged from.
Disappeared into the abyss. Yeah, so are you guys going to set up camp here.
Yeah.
Do you have any?
Do you guys mind if we spend the night nearby? It's usually safer when there's more people
Oh,
around
of
to
course.
watch.
Yeah, no, I think
They seem
that.
friendly.
Are you talking to your party members or to the Deepmoor?
No, I was talking to the Deemer.
Okay. The one that brought you the fish says, yeah, it would definitely be safer if you stuck around here. I know that just over there, there's some pretty nasty urchins that like to sneak up on people while they're sleeping, so we've been kind of fending them off. So I definitely recommend you stay close by, and we keep watch all night so you can sleep and get your rest.
We can do the sheriff watch. That's fine.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm on first
Yeah,
watch,
we won't.
so
I can do last watch. That's fine. I can get up early. That's okay.
well, I feel like you should sleep.
Yeah, you sleep, Gaster.
Leo and I can take care of this if you want.
Okay. Not super thrilled with that, but
Who's gonna take first watch with me?
I can. I'd like to discuss the spices.
Oh, of course. Let's talk food.
I love food.
So she introduces herself as Kellen.
Oh, Kellen.
And go ahead and roll a perception check for your first watch.
Oh, I have everything but my goddamn.
There are also dice on the internet.
Oh, it was my binder that I've been writing out.
Well, that's not on the internet.
Yeah. 20 unnatural.
All right. So you are staying up as your party members are heading to bed, and you and Kellen are, having kind of a lively discussion about spices and foods, and she gives you a pouch of some red spices to take with you. She says they're a little spicy. I'd recommend cutting it with something.
I'll be very careful.
Good. And she leads you kind of in a perimeter, and you just sort of do this gentle stroll of the perimeter for the entirety of your watch. At one point, you hear a rustling, and you're about to turn and point it out to her when you notice that she has darted in to the seaweed, and she comes back and she's holding a very large sea urchin. You got a 20, she got a nat 20.
Oh my god.
And she's holding it and she's like, got him. It's a very, very large sea urchin with very sharp spikes. And she seems to have crushed it a little bit. And she's like, this will be delicious for breakfast.
Oh, I don't think I've ever had urchin before. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and so she sort of stashes it in the tent, and the rest of your watch passes uneventfully. Who is going to take second watch? I guess that would be Leo.
It will be Leo, yep.
So Kellen goes and wakes up Gemma, the one that you had first met, and she's Go ahead and make a perception check for your watch, Leo.
Oh, that's good. 22.
And did you want to do anything in particular during your watch?
I might, as we're sort of like walking around and observing the area and listening, I might ask Gemma, so what brings you folks out to the forest? Do you live here full time? What's the dealio?
Well, we like to keep on the move. Mostly we're just trying to stay away from Tabora. There's some not nice people there. Kellen and Gaster were talking about the pod earlier. we've had some issues with them and just don't really like the way they practice out there. But we don't like Genbohr because there's too much, I don't know, politics.
That's understandable. What about Mistvian? Or is it Mistvane?
Mistvane? I haven't been that far, actually. It's a little closer to the surface than normally we'd like, but also so's this. It's a little warmer than we like around here. But I like this forest because it's dangerous, but there's lots to eat.
Cool. Well,
what brings you around here?
You know what? That's a really good question. Yeah, I left my hometown, came up to Thessalon to check in with my Aunt Clara because there was some issues going on, and then I met these two friends and have just sort of hung around.
Cool. That sounds fun. When you find people who are good to travel with, you stick with them. I've been with these guys for ever.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of the world, so this is a good opportunity, I think, to see more of the seas.
Maybe I should check out Mistvane. It's an area I haven't really been to. I've just heard that it's kind of warm there, especially like around this time. I think they get this really big heat wave there. I don't know if you know about this. It's like every 100 or so years they get this huge heat wave and it burns up everything. I think they're due for one these days. I don't know. I heard about it in a book.
Leo's gonna frown concernedly and say, maybe that's what the dreams have been about.
The dreams?
Yeah, I've been having dreams that the place where I'm from, Leviathan's Last Stand, it's nearish to Mistvane. Having these weird dreams that it's been getting really, really hot, like boiling hot. It's been a bit of a worry.
Does it not usually get hot?
I mean, it's usually pleasant, but not hot. Not like these dreams.
Well, I don't know a whole lot about it, but it sounds similar. Maybe I think Genbohr has a really big library. They might have some information about it there. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if you say it happens every 100 or so years, and yeah, I might check out the library and see if I can't, because it seemed like it got really hot, like unlivable hot, like killing all of the things hot. So I'm worried that this one might be a bit worse if it's, but maybe not. I mean, it is just a dream after all. You can't put too much fish stock in dreams.
I don't know. I think dreams tell us a lot of really important stuff.
Yeah, good to know.
And the rest of your watch passes uneventfully. Gemma wakes up another one of the Deepmer, and she doesn't wake up Leo. Thauma. I don't know if Leo is gonna try to wake up Thauma or let them sleep.
Oh, Thauma wakes up on their own, wakes up perfectly fine, and
I meant for
but
the
a bit more energetic. Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Are you gonna let Thauma sleep, or are you
I'm
gonna?
gonna 100% let Thauma sleep.
I figured. Great. So the rest of the night passes, and you get your long rest.
I think I did actually need that. It was no, because we already had a long rest. It's all good.
Yeah, you've had a couple. Because you've been traveling for about 3 days through the forest. And in the morning, Gemma and Kellen cook up the large sea urchin, and the other two kind of take up watcher on the perimeter, and the day is yours.
Morning, my friends. How are we?
That was good.
So here's the pun and just sinks back down into the sand. It's just no.
Leah's gonna go kelpin on, kelpin on.
Oh my goodness.
And Thauma just wonders why she hangs out with them.
Fan freaking tastic.
So,
Well, you can't have coffee underwater, so you gotta wake up in the morning with a cup of caffeine.
No. Also,
No?
you can absolutely have coffee underwater. There's beer underwater, like.
Yeah, if we can have underwater beer and wine.
I guess that is true. I was being too hasty.
Yeah.
We did also have tea in the hut.
Mm-hmm. And Kellen makes up a very, very spicy morning tea for you.
Spicy tea.
Mm-hmm.
invigorating.
Wow.
And Thauma is 100% all over that.
Alright, so what's our plan for getting into Genbohr? So you two obviously have very recognizable faces if the encounter at Trident Crossroads is anything to go by, so I guess we need to make sure that you are well disguised.
Yep.
Kellen, Gemma, I know you guys try to avoid Genbohr, but do you have any recommendations, ideas on how to get in?
Well, there's a gate.
That's a bit obvious. I don't think I will get very far inside after the last time that I was there.
Well, I suppose you could go up and over the side of the wall, but they don't really like when you do that.
Yeah, usually the patrol's too tight to do that.
Yeah.
There's a couple of gates.
Is there one that's less used?
Well, there's the one that goes to Tabora, so you'd have to kind of skirt around the side of the wall, which people might look at you funny. There's the one that goes up into the Sunburst Shallows. I've never been there, so I don't know anything about it there. I know that the closest gate, they don't really harass you. They just kind of let you go through.
Mm.
And if you look different.
Well, they might give you the stink eye.
I mean, I'm gonna get the stink eye wherever I go like this. Just points to the fact that there are Solani.
Genbohr's got a few Ursulani, I think. But yeah, they still might. Not quite as much as if you're a deep mer.
Fair. But they have posters with my face, all the way down Trident Crossing.
Oh yeah.
So,
And
Yeah,
it's just your face that's an issue, and Elomi starts digging through their bag. I have some makeup in here.
Makeup.
Makeover time!
Makeovers!
oh boy. I mean,
Worst comes to worst, we can just, scrub it off. And you
it's
can
a
use
better
my
shot
towel,
than
maybe.
it's a better shot than just floating on in there, looking like my wanted poster.
Yeah?
Are you gonna do the same? Because you were pretty quickly recognized too.
Yeah, I'm gonna dye my hair.
You're gonna dye your hair?
Yeah.
What are you
I'm
gonna dye
sure
your-
that I have some temporary hair dye in here.
Is that in the entertainer's pack?
Well, there's a disguise kit in there.
What is in the disguise kit?
I don't know, I've just been using it as sort of my hammer space, It has whatever I want in there.
It does have hair dye. It says cosmetics, hair dye, and small props.
Yes.
So it doesn't have whatever you want, but it does have the thing you want right now.
Makeover montage.
Has what can cover one of my most seeable features.
So yeah, using your disguise kit is gonna be a dexterity roll plus proficiency, I believe. Wait, no.
I think they
Yeah.
have to be proficient in disguise kit.
I believe they
which
are. Yeah.
Do they
I
need
was
to
just
roll
misreading
twice? Once for them and once for...
Yeah.
Gaston?
So are you gonna? How much time are you spending doing this?
How far away from Genbohr are we?
About 8 hours.
Okay.
Not very far.
So, like, now if we wanted to... Like, now's probably a good time to get into disguise?
Probably like an hour on Thomas.
Okay. Go ahead and roll for your disguise kit.
And that you said that was dexterity and
Plus proficiency, which I believe right now is 2 for you guys.
yeah. 21.
Ooh, very nice. Okay, so Thauma, are you also gonna change you're able to change your skin color, right? Or is that a flavor thing?
To like blend in, that's more of a flavor thing.
Okay.
To like
Let me take a
be
look
able
at
to
your
do it, it's not
design.
like an official.
Fair enough. Yeah, I would
Just like
say
it
you
ties
can
in
like
with the.
change the texturing of yourself a little bit. You couldn't go like full on a different color.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know why I thought that you could just do that. Because I want you to be able to just do that, because that'd be sick.
Yeah. If I'm using the hiding magic, I can like change a little bit more. But it's more flavor.
If you're willing to spend concentration on it, you could concentrate and change your skin color pretty drastically. Not like red to blue, but
I wouldn't be able to. Right. Probably more of morphing my paleness into more of the orange.
Okay.
To be more Pacific octopus coloring rather than mimic octopus coloring.
I love Pacific octopus.
Me too.
It's so pretty.
A good picture to use for stream, but the tank they have it in at the Seattle Aquarium, which looks really cool, is really hard to take good pictures in. So I don't have a good picture for stream.
Yeah, those really thick acrylic walls do it.
Well, and it's a circle.
Yeah,
it's like a cylinder. It's such a cool. I love the aquarium. Anyway, 21 for Thauma, and then go ahead and roll for doing your own makeup.
All right. Sorry, I did not mean to slam that right next to the microphone. 23.
Hot diggity dang.
We have not rolled below 20 yet.
Oh my god.
Knock on wood.
Right?
All right. So as you depart from the camp, Kellen is gonna give you a small pouch of food. It's like one meal for each of you. It's like not a whole lot of food.
Aww.
And just says, be safe and keep fighting.
Thank you for your hospitality.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if
it was great making friends.
Sorry, what was Leo saying?
I was going to say, if we're coming back through this way, we'll be sure to try and find you and drop in.
You do that. We should be here for a little longer.
I'm gonna just tell them that if I get the chance, I'll make sure to fuck up some of their shit.
Kellen just starts giggling uncontrollably. Great. So go ahead and roll. Who's leading the helm?
I have a +6 in survival, just FYI.
Go ahead and
I have led us around in a complete circle.
Go ahead and roll survival, Leo.
That is a 10 total.
Oh.
All right.
No.
It is getting pretty dark by the time you end up in view of the Genbohr gates. Like you traveled for the whole day. You kind of take a couple. It's really thick kelp as it gets close to the city. and you almost like bonk into the wall at one point because you're like, yep, okay, that's the wall, and you kind of have to follow it along, and you can hear the hustle and bustle from the gate. I presume you're not just waltzing out into the road, so
No.
but you can hear and kind of see the gate off in the distance now, and it is sun has set.
All right, friends, what do we want to do? Do we want to try and get in now under the cover of darkness? The extra shadows might actually be pretty good for, slipping in unnoticed. Or less noticed.
Or at least hide features that where makeup might have worn off a little bit during the day. We can go in, find somewhere to stay for the night.
Yeah. Oh, and Elomi whips out their Pauper's costume and holds it out to Thauma and says, "What do you think?" I know that it's a bit of a shabby costume, but the other one that I have is like a princess costume, and I figured that one would be a little bit over the top.
I appreciate it. I think
There's
I'll
also
stay
my
in what I've got in.
There is my cowl.
I think I'll be all right in what I've got on.
Okay.
This is not what I was wearing the last time I was here. So.
All right.
In all honesty, I'd rather not put on rags.
Suit yourself, and Elomi slings it over their shoulders.
What color did you dye your hair, by the way?
Seaweed green.
To match Leo.
Yes!
So I told you we were twins.
Twinsies.
All right, green hair,
Mm-hmm.
striped tail, and like beggar clothes.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
And in case I decide to call either of you by name, is there a preferred name you would more easily respond to than your real names?
Maybe Ellie?
Ellie?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
What did I tell Fred that my name was?
Gasper, I think?
No, that's what I just used this time. I think
Oh.
I think I just told Fred to call me T.
Fred may have known your name.
Probably. But I did not introduce myself with my name. I know that. So I'll just go with T. That'll be easier.
Alrighty. Shall we?
All right.
After you.
As you approach the gate, there is a fair amount of activity. It's not like super busy because it's nighttime at this point. There are 2 guards, each sort of standing within the gate facing inward. It's a large gate. You could put probably 3 carts across going through it. And you also notice there are guards all along the top of the wall, just kind of hanging out, wandering back and forth, just keeping watch. Go ahead and roll. Would it be stealth, or deception?
I think we're just trying to casually walk through and be super casual.
Okay, yeah, okay, fair enough. As you are being casually strolling through, one of the guards seems very interested in Elomi and kind of watches, but doesn't say anything and just watches you pass and kind of gives you the stink eye because you have green hair and you're dressed in beggar's clothing. But he doesn't end up saying anything to you, and you have successfully made it into Genbohr.
If the Kleptical could flip that guard off, it would.
I mean, I guess it can't because it's just a one.
It can't. Otherwise, it would.
All
right.
Yeah. So
He curls up and goes.
you are in Genbohr, and I have to run in the other room and grab my map so that I can describe what we're looking at. So I'll be right back. 2 seconds.
Of course.
1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi. It's been 2 seconds.
After the kerfuffle of the Trident Crossroads, I honestly didn't think that would go that smoothly.
Same.
True. But I guess they see like hundreds of people a day, so like, what's one weird ragtag band of like poor people on a huge warhorse?
Oh, that's right. We still got.
I forgot Gideon was with us.
Lest we forget the giant ass seahorse. We just remembered that Gideon's with us, so it's just 3 poor looking people with this gigantic warhorse.
It's not a warhorse. I just had the wrong card in front of me.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Poor seahorse.
It's a regular
Okay.
riding horse, and you did take off the royal bridle, so no one thinks twice. All right. So as you are entering the city, you see directly to your right, just inside the gate, there is kind of a watchtower building. The doors are shut and windows are closed. And then mostly you just see kind of housing surrounding you, and then there is a road leading forward, and up ahead it seems to fork into 3 forks. I believe.
Would Thauma know like an area that would be more shady-ish, but still friendly to the likes of us?
I think you've been to Genbohr.
Okay.
Yeah, because the headquarters wasn't in Genbohr, was it?
No, you grew up in Tabora. All of that shit went down in Tabora.
All of it. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I remember
Elomi,
it.
though, you are familiar with the city and should have a copy of the map. There you go.
I do.
Hey.
That was what I was fishing out.
Okay, cool.
All right. So the best place to go would probably be to the Spiral Market area to find a good bar to just lay low in and get some information. Set Gideon up in a stable for the night.
Okay. Do you want to lead the way to the Spiral Market?
Yes.
Great.
Do I
Are
need
you gonna? No, you don't need to roll anything.
Oh.
My question is: are you going to turn at the first right through Farm and Industry, or up at the second right to head to the Spiral Market? It doesn't really matter. I'm just curious what your fish GPS is gonna do.
I think I'd automatically go to the right to go through the Farm and Industry sector.
Okay. Great. So you take a right at the fork, and Elomi leads you through an area where you see blacksmiths, you see workshops, carpenters, all of these shops. There's very few that are still operating. Most of them are locked and shut for the night. But there's the occasional craftsman who seems to be staying up very late doing work. And you continue on, and you reach somewhat reminiscent of where you just were at the Trident Crossroads, because the Trident Crossroads is a circle, and the Spiral Market is literally built in a spiral, the buildings, and in the center of it there's a large hermit crab shell that is one of the inns in the Spiral Market.
Excellent.
There are actually 3 inns within the Spiral Market, though. the one in the center is very full of activity and lively, but there are two others.
Hmm.
What do you recommend, Elomi?
Well, I've always found that the liveliest places are the easiest to blend in. Um, does that one have a stable in my memory?
The big one?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. They also have a place for Gideon. Hopefully they've got one free space.
Okay. I'll pat Gideon's neck and I go, sorry, friend, it looks like won't be snuggling up with you tonight. You'll be sleeping with the other seahorses.
Plenty of food, though.
Plenty of food.
Gideon starts to look disappointed, and then as soon as you say food, he kind of perks up and is excited. Great. So you head on to the inn, and it's just called the Snail Shell, which is pretty large snail shell, and it's like more like a hermit crab shell. But anyway, it's called the Snail Shell. And someone
Some snails can get super big.
It's true.
Like snails that get like this big.
It costs 5 silver to board. No, costs a silver to board Gideon.
I'll pay for Gideon.
And I can pay for the room.
Okay, the room. Are you getting one room?
Kind of feels weird to sleep alone now. Do y'all want to share a room or like?
I think it's probably safer if we share a room.
That is true. Don't want another fish in a possible.
The
Yeah, for that I might just want my own room.
Too late. You said one room.
You guys are the worst. The mer folk behind the counter says, "Well, if there's 3 of you, I could offer you a room with 3 beds. It does cost a little bit more."
Oh, that sounds perfect for us.
Oh, wonderful. That will be 1 gold, 5 silver for the night.
You're killing me here, but I'll pay. Elomi gently puts it down on the counter.
Okay. And she gives you a very like sparkly key and says,
Ooh.
it'll be on the top floor.
Ooh.
Nice. Lovely. Thank you so much.
And
if we end up being here more than a night, I can pay other nights. So that's fine.
I didn't hear
say that to Elomi because I was just saying that if we end up being here more than one night, I can help pay for the room. That's fine.
Oh, you're so kind, Thauma. That won't be necessary, but I'll thank you for that.
All right. So you go on up to the room. It's a very nice room, very cozy, cushy beds. And there's like it's like a mint on the pillow. All of that. It's not like the fanciest hotel, but it's like this is the nicest room in the hotel.
Mm. It's the best suite in the Hampton Inn.
Yes.
With the names though, Elomi.
Oh, I
say when we're alone.
No,
I was saying because you called Thauma in front of people.
Oh. Sorry, T.
Name changes are hard. Are you going to
No
sleep?
brain.
Are you doing anything else?
I'm gonna look over
Elomi?
at T and see how they're doing.
Elomi is going to take a nice, relaxing bath because they have not very thoroughly bathed in days. They hate it. They hate it.
There's lots of like scented soaps and everything in there. Like,
it is the bubbliest
bottles, but yeah.
It is the bubbliest bath that you can ever see.
How?
It's more like bathing like a sponge bath. because there's not like water coming down, so it's more like, but that's fancy underwater, right? Like,
It's like, how do you bathe underwater?
Just fly through the
Sponge it.
bubbles.
yeah. Leo.
Oh, you get the suds.
Leo had looked over to see how Thauma was doing, and how is Thauma doing?
Thauma is trying not to panic. There's a lot of people. So they're just quieter than usual, but not like they're tired quiet.
Okay. Leo's going to sit down on a bed and just sort of like swing their tail and say, look, ordinarily in a new place, in a new town, I think my first port of call would be to check out the brews of the local establishments, but if you feel like you just want to stay here and have me keep you company, I can do that instead. Or if you want to come down and have some drinks with me, we could do that too. Whatever makes you more comfortable.
I think going downstairs might be a good idea. I don't know if anyone here would know Fred's associate. The gentleman Fred back at the Wicked Clam. He gave me information to contact someone here in Genbohr to help get more information about Kale. But I don't know if anyone here...
Should we go
Thauma just kind of flops back and just...
Should we go
I don't
downstairs
know.
and find out where we could find that information? Like, are we supposed to go to, like, the shady part of town to find this associate
I just
friend?
walk down to the hotel bar and ask, hey, where's the shady shit in town?
You know,
Are you actually doing that?
being from a small town, I don't really understand, like, the protocols and the etiquettes of large city. Like, we only had one in my town, so I guess
I can't find it in my notes. Do I have a name for Fred's associate?
You were told to ask for Fred's associate. You weren't given a name. What I don't remember is if you were given an establishment to ask at.
That's what I am trying to find.
Make a history check. If you roll high, we'll pretend that he told you.
That's a 10.
You're not sure. I don't remember if he told you.
I just have, he gave information to contact his associates. But that's all I wrote
Write down the information he gave you.
Yeah, it would have been past me. That would have been helpful.
Well, you know what we can do instead of asking? We can just go downstairs and hang out and listen and try and get like a lay of the land, a seat of the sea.
Lay of the waves.
There we go.
All right, so you're gonna head down into the bar.
Ha!
Oh,
Temple of Galthina.
yep. Okay, I couldn't remember if he had told you that. Yes, he told you.
He had to have written it down.
He told you to visit the Temple of Galathina and ask for Fred's associate.
Well, so I imagine what's happened is Leo has just been like blathering just verbal diarrhea while Tom has been thinking.
Basically.
Yeah.
And in that space of time, Elomi has finished up bathing and is walking in with like a towel wrapped around their hair, and they're like, What the hell are you talking about?
Leo's well off on a tangent now, talking about different types of brews and stuff. While
Elomi, did you wash off all your makeup?
Yeah, Elomi probably got caught up in the joys of scrubbing again. What can I say? They're a city day.
Ellie, your face.
Well,
Is someone in here besides us?
Well, no, but T and I were going to go down to the
down and
bar.
drink.
Ah, got it.
But, like, if you want to stay up here and, like, have a bit of a catfish nap.
Yeah, I was gonna. Contrary to what I usually do, I think it'd be nice to decompress alone for a little bit.
Well, I mean, you're never truly alone with Seb, but if you want us to take him with us downstairs so he doesn't keep you up.
If he would like some snacks.
Sebby boy, you want some snacks?
Seb perks up at that, obviously, and starts scuttling through the water over Leo.
I love it.
Just gonna put out my hand and put him on my shoulder.
Okay, so Leo and Thauma and Seb head down. There's a pretty large dining and drinking area, and it's busy. It's busy. You're in a big city. Wow. There's a lot of people.
Is it always this noisy? I'm gonna say.
Yes.
Some random person says, "Yup."
Good to know. All right. Gonna make our way over to the bar, I guess, and order whatever the local bar person recommends.
Okay. There is a merfolk gentleman pouring or, mixing up drinks, bubbling up drinks, and passing them out, and says, "Yes, what can I get you tonight?"
What is the local drink of choice?
The local drink of choice, of course, is Genbohr Ale.
All right.
It's not the most creative title, but it is a very creative flavor.
I have 2 of those, thanks. The small one here is not of drinking age, and I'm going to point to Seb.
Oh, well, for your little friend, and he brings out the smallest little, like, drink size bubble. I'm imagining, like, puppuccino, but like oh my god,
Here you go.
It's a pinchicino.
It's just juice. It's not alcohol. Don't tell him. And then he drops down two spheres of Genbohr Ale for each, or one for each of you.
Sweet. I'm going to grab them both and then swim over. I imagine that T...
That'll be 2 silver, please.
Oh, yes, of course. I'm going to put 2 silver down.
He takes it and says, "Thank you," and turns off to the next patron.
And then I'm going to swim over to... I'm assuming that T has found a seat in the house somewhere.
Yeah. Shadowy corner. Like usual.
Shadowy corner.
The wall.
You're going to have to fight for the shadowy corner space a little bit. There's enough variety of people that there's other shadowy people in shadowy corners. But you're able to find a shadowy-ish corner. Each of you make a perception check.
I was going to say, I want to like listen and look at things and try and figure out, just try and find stuff.
That is a whopping 3.
Leo got a 21.
Thauma, it's really noisy in here, and you're getting a little overstimulated, and it's difficult to focus on anything besides your drink. Leo got a 21. You hear so many different things. You're just like, there's a crazy story of a crazy shopping excursion that happened over here. There's a story about like some drama going on at the castle over here. You hear a story just like over here of there's a missing person, that's happening. You just hear so much conversation. happening around you.
And say, Seb, are you getting all this? You should have like a little notebook or something.
I rolled for the kleptical and got a 13.
I forget what a 13 does.
Nothing of value, but something shiny.
Okay, you get what looks like a candy wrapper of a child's treat, but it's very shiny.
Is very happy with the shiny.
Is there anything that I feel is important to us? Like, does any of those stories seem to connect with either Thauma's brother or to Elomi at all?
You kind of listen in individually to these conversations here and there, and you eventually hear the conversation about the missing person mentions that the guards are looking for them and that they have gone very far out in search of this missing person.
Okay. I'm going to whisper to Seb and say, that's probably going to work to our advantage. Alright.
What is?
I'm going to lean in and whisper so that it's not conspicuous. And say, well, word is that someone's missing and the guards have gone far out looking for them. And, if that is anything to do with anyone we might know, then that might work to our advantage.
It does have to do with who we know.
Elomi sneezing upstairs.
But at least they're being looked for a better reason than I am.
Thauma's making some assumptions up in here.
Well, they didn't try to kill Elomi on sight, so...
I'm gonna put a hand out and put it on Thauma's shoulder and say, well, if you ever go missing, I'll be looking for you for the right reasons, or good reasons.
Oh. Leo is so wholesome.
Well, I'm glad to know that you would not be looking to kill me. Or hand me over to the pod.
I mean, probably not. They sound pretty awful. I've not heard good things about this pod.
Yeah, they're... People don't realize how bad they actually are. Most people think that they are wonderful and amazing and do so much for all the poor little orphan children from the deeps. But they really don't.
As you are talking about this and just like saying these things, someone stops at your table and gives you just a disgusted look.
Can I help you?
Yeah, you're talking shit.
But am I talking to you?
No, but you're talking shit about the pod, and that is disrespectful as hell. They
really
do
don't
good
care.
things. You're disgusting. And they swim off.
Go suck a dolphin dick. That was not said very loudly.
Oh my god. They rolled a nat 1 to hear it, so they did not hear it.
Oh. Thank God.
We didn't need a barb roll to to go off. Leo's gonna lean in and go, Well, that kind of tells me a lot about the character of the people who, like those folk. They seem to
they're
be very, firm in their beliefs and, not very nice about anyone who might hold a different set of beliefs. And Leo is very careful not to say the pod, because they don't want to attract any more attention.
just a bunch of pious porpoise fuckers. And they down the rest of their drink. Not very loudly. This is just for Leo to hear.
Talking
That's
into
like
their bubble.
the best. I'm writing this down.
Just go suck a dolphin dick, you pious porpoise fucker. There we go.
It's very delightful to the ears.
It is,
It's
right?
the alliteration.
Hot diggity damn. And on that beautiful note, I think it's time to call it a night, or an afternoon, or a morning.
Hey.
Thank you so much for joining us today. Go suck a dolphin dick, you bunch of pious porpoise fuckers, is going to be the first t-shirt. No, it's not. Anyway, I hope you all have a lovely evening. Thank you so much, as always, to my players, to Ashta for doing that extra tech work for us, Soph Sundries for our map, and have a lovely week.
Everyone.
Thank you for coming.